What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Long time no video. I'm just going to give a brief update on why I've been gone so long. When I loaded this roll of film I'm about to show you into the camera, it was on my way to Colorado to photograph a motorcycle rally. I arrived there, shot for a couple days, and then became deathly ill. I went into a room and didn't emerge, having not eaten or had hardly anything to drink for about 3 weeks. It wasn't the big C word, but I was very sick, and I've been sick off and on since then. But the good news is I've discovered why, and I'm feeling better than ever now. And it's actually a pretty life-altering revelation. So I'm going to actually post a video about that in a few months when it's totally resolved. But the good news is I'm back, I'm feeling great, and I'm shooting again. Because I stopped shooting this roll way back then, I didn't finish it until just a few days ago, and I'm actually super happy things happened the way they did, because I finished the roll with a girl who I met a few months ago and I met back up with again, and I love these photos so much that it was worth all the pain and suffering that it took to lead me to finish it the way I did. So I will be giving some technical notes over the video. I hope you like it. I'm back, and I have some really fun stuff coming up in the future, so stay tuned. If you have any questions about this video, any technical stuff, any observations, leave them in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye. This is the first picture from the roll, and this was taken just before we took off on the motorcycles. This was outside the casino, and this guy, his face tells 1,000 stories, so he was an obvious choice. I kind of wish, I didn't have a choice. I didn't want to ask the other guy to move or anything like that, so I put him in the frame and made him out of focus. I shot another frame, this one, and I tried to crop him out, but I'm still not totally used to the rangefinder, and I think I'm really not concentrating on the frame lines a whole lot, so got a little bit of that guy in there. I think it still works. I can always crop it later, but I really love this guy's face, and I was grateful that he let me take his photo. Train ride from Durango to Silverton. It's a really amazing train ride. I suggest you do it at some point. And there's these three Amish, I'd say they're in their early 20s, sitting next to me, and they just look so fantastic. And I'd seen them up against the rail looking out the cart, and I wanted to take a photo, but I wanted to be respectful. And so I asked permission to take their portrait, and they said they couldn't pose for a portrait, so I ended up with these. The first one I completely screwed up, no idea how I did that. This one I like a lot with the negative space, so I'm happy with it. This is my attempt at doing landscapes or non-human photos. I honestly don't know if this is good, bad, average. I don't know. I'm trying to be a normal person and practice doing sort of like scenic shots for some trips I have coming up, but it still doesn't come naturally to me. So this is me just attempting to do something that's a picture of somebody that's not a human. You tell me, is it good or not? I don't know. I can't say, so it might be great. Who knows? Not my jam. I do kind of like this photo because there was a human element, and they do make an attempt on this train to look like old-timey conductors and railway workers. So other than a couple of people in the back, I do enjoy this photo. I do make an attempt in all the photos I take to not have any elements really be clear what year the photo was taken, and so that one definitely qualifies. This is just a trash picture of downtown Silverton. I tried to crop out all the newer cars and telephone lines and things like that, and I just don't think it worked, but I just wanted to kind of move through the roll, so this is what I got. So if you go back one or two videos, you will recognize the girl from the right. She was the one who I asked to leave work from the hamburger place she was working in and just come outside and take some photos with me, and she did. So we decided to do a proper photo session a few months later, and she was nice enough to come and bring her friend with her, and I love these photos. Now these are taken, now I want you to pay attention, these are taken one stop over box speed, and so their faces are nice and bright. And I mean, because she has dark hair, there is some contrast in the photos. But I want you to pay attention to the difference between these and the photos at the end that I shot at box speed, which are a lot moodier and have a lot more sort of darker tones. This I would say, if you want something to look like a traditional portrait in the shade or backlit, I suggest shooting one stop over, because then the faces are nice and bright. But if you want something moodier and edgier, I prefer box speed now, which I have never really done before, but I've totally converted. So make a note of how there's no shadows on their face. You still see their skin texture, which is obviously the goal, but I'm sort of in my mind switching to the darker, moodier tones in my photos of people. Again, these are shot at one stop over box speed, and they're backlit and they're sitting in the shade, and you see their faces are bright. The black still came out black, and they're fine. They're fine portraits. If you're gonna do like a senior portrait or a family portrait, I highly suggest shooting at one stop over box speed, or based on their skin tone. You know, half a stop or one stop over box speed, so their faces are nice and bright. I'm starting to lean towards the style of the one towards the end, though, for a lot of the stuff I'm doing, but these definitely work. Okay, now to my favorite pictures of the roll. This is Riley, and you might recognize her from my first RB67 video. She's the one who I got the double exposures of accidentally on the beach, but they still came out pretty rad. So she's back, and she's sitting in my Mustang. And you notice that there's the really bright backlit spot, there's the perfectly exposed spot on the side of her face, and there's the dark spot. That's always my goal when I'm shooting sort of moodier photos. I want those three elements to the photo, and that's what keeps them from becoming flat. You know, I see a lot of flat looking photos, and sometimes you want flat because they're just regular people who don't want to look like they're making art. But for this type of photo, I think it's really important to have a lot of depth in the photos, and I really love all of these. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will let you write out the last of these couple photos and let me know what you think in the comments. I will see you next time. Bye.